All right, this question asks us to divide 42.352 by 2.4 and round to the nearest hundredth. Now, I would suggest in this course to just go ahead and use a calculator. It's good to know how to do these things by hand. However, in this course, we do a lot of calculating with sometimes 5, 6, 7, 8 numbers that you have to put in, and it would just be too time consuming to do every single problem by hand. So I would suggest using a calculator. Just make sure you use the buttons in the correct order. So when you're dividing this number, you would put in this number first, watch where you put your decimal point, then hit the divide sign, and finally put in the 2.4. Now when you get that number, you should get 17.64 and then a whole string of sixes that continue on to the end of your calculator. The question asked us to round to the nearest hundredth. Now, when you get to the decimal point, the first number is the tenths, the second one is the hundredths, so we want to round to the nearest hundredth here. So this is where we cut off. And to decide whether we round up one or stay, we look at the next number. Now the next number is a 6. If that next number is 5 or larger, you round up. If it's smaller than 5, you just stay. 6 is 5 or larger, so that means we're going to round our 4 up 1 to a 5 instead. So our answer would be 17.65 or 17 and 65 hundredths. We're going to do a lot of problems where we have to round dollars or cents. Since this is a business class, we do lots of problems that involve money. So here we go. This example asks us to just round $64.782 to the nearest cent. Now notice since there are 2 cents after because they're hundredths. Okay, so we want to round off here. To decide once again whether you're going to round up or stay, you look at that next number. If it's 5 or larger, you round up 1. If it's smaller than 5, you just stay. 2 is smaller than 5, so we just stay at 64.78, and it said to include units, so make sure you put the dollar sign on the front of the number, not at the end. Here's another example. It's very similar. It wants us again to round to the nearest cent. So again, that means 2 places after the decimal. This time, when we look at that next number, that third number after, it's 5. And again, 5 or larger means you round up. So our 78 becomes 79. Okay, so notice that one number made a difference in our answer. Here's another example. Multiply $542 by 6.2% and round to the nearest cent. Okay, anytime you see percents and they want you to calculate with them, the first thing you have to do is change the percent to a decimal. To do that, we move the decimal that's in the number 2 places to the left, fill in with zeros anywhere there's a blank. So that would be 0.062 as a decimal. Now we can do our multiplication. So you would take 542.00, you can put in there if you'd like, and then times 0.062. Again, I suggest using a calculator just because we do so many calculations in this class. It would take a lot of time if you did everything by hand. When you do that, you should get 33.604. Now this said to round our answer to the nearest cent, which is 2 decimal places. So we want to stop right here. We have to decide whether to stay or round up. So we look at the next number after that, and it's a 4. Remember, 5 and larger means we round up 1. Smaller than 5, we stay. 4 is smaller than 5. So for our answer, we just stay at $33.60.